Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. YouTube family, here's another video on a watch strap I just finished. This watch strap is for Stefano, if I have this correctly. And it of course it has to turn out the way I like it, otherwise I would not even send it. But this one has turned out the way I like it a lot, and I hope Stefano likes it too. It is here a 20 millimeter lug width strap for a regular size. A regular size in the US is a 7.5. And when I'm here, he said regular size, then it has holds up and holds down to adjust it, typically between 7 to 7.5 in the middle, and then 8 on the loosest. Actually, I should show you that. So here are the adjust holes to make the strap wider or smaller. And this strap was ordered for a regular wrist, so the center hole is roughly, or the two center holes are roughly for the 7.5. Then I say the two center holes, the holes are in quarter inch increments. So needless to say that 5 holes is it covers a inch. Why do I say the center holes? Is because the watch is thicker or thinner, or sometimes people don't measure, or they are just somewhat close. The lugs in the watch could be higher up or lower down, or the watch itself. Even so, this is a 20 millimeter standard lug with Omega. It could be longer, or it could be smaller. So there's a little variation in which watch head you put on to the strap, which has an influence on which hole you will use. But when we ship it out now in a standard length, it will be probably in the middle hole here. There's the stud, and of course we test the buckle, and I'll show you that maybe too. So it opens up like this, and click, then it locks into place. And with any luck, my iPhone will focus. I repeat myself when I say these are all handmade straps, and they are hand stitched, hand cut, everything. I tell lately, I said, well, if we would have a power out, as long as I work during day or have a strong enough candle, it wouldn't affect my operation much, because these straps are not made by machines, they're made by hand. And that leads me to a really important part. A handmade item has the variation of the human. Even a good craftsman, he can duplicate his work very close from item to item, and I do this just on eBay for 15 years, and we have 5,000 reviews there. I made enough straps, and yes, I still love it to make straps. They will be cleaned before packaging. There's white little things everywhere. It's just dust. but we clean the strap before we ship it. Anyway, so you have the human factor on I call it a living watch strap, and then we use Horban leather, which is so so alive, because they don't use this. They use a very natural process and make beautiful leather. It's world-renowned leather, Horban leather, and what makes it world-renowned is that these leathers look natural, which is funny to say because wouldn't you expect that? But leathers in modern times are somewhat dyed and maybe even drum and then sprayed to have a very, very homogeneous surface, and it looks to me like plastic, and they don't develop a patina, but Horban doesn't do that. And then so you have the human factor, there's variations, and then you have that Horban leather, which every cut is individual. Some would not so but it is individual. I pick usually a cut that is not just having the most character right here, where the cow had a collision with a rose bush, and then some people would love that, and they would have a character, I call it, right here. So I try to pick a leather that but it is alive, and then a handmade, and so you get a really individual product. So if you combine that with a beautiful watch head, then you have a very unique situation, and if that's your thing, we are a match. But anyway, the watch strap is, I told you, that handmade, hand stitched. In here and here and here and here, it's saddle stitched. It's a double saddle stitch. It's a technique. It's very, very durable. The most durable leather stitching technique I know. And if my iPhone focuses, you can see here our stand. And this is considered a deployment buckle. We now almost exclusively use the short shaft deployments. A deployment is typically really good if you have 7.5 and up, like an 8-inch wrist, because these shafts here are long on deployment clasps. These ones are special made, and they have a shorter shaft, which then also accommodates smaller wrists, 7.5, and so on. Comfort is here, is the boss. Also in our contour cut, you see it here, it's more substantial than here. It's a substantial strap overall, but here the boss is the buckle. You need to have this fit here somewhat flush, and here it needs to fit in these buckles. So and then of course 22 millimeter or 20 in this case needs to fit in the watch, and so on. And see, here's a white, now it's gone. Anyway, again, thank you very much for your trust and your business. We appreciate it. If you like another strap, please, I'll make it in any color we have available. And the customization of the lug is typically not a problem. 20, 21, 22, 24. I have made really wide ones. I think the widest one was 28, but I'm not actually sure anymore. But 26 and so on. The next one, or the next one over, is a 16 to and so we can make them smaller and bigger. Sometimes on. Anyway, I don't know what else to say. But thank you, and show you the strap. You hear my chickens, and well, our neighbor's chickens, well, they're almost mine, and our fountain in the back. People that watch the videos, you hear those chickens. They're beautiful but noisy birds. They can be noisy when it's really hot. Then they're not so noisy. When it's not so hot, then and I learned how to speak chicken too. And besides speaking chicken and talking about them, I also make watches. Not this one, that's an Omega, as you can see, but we make also watches, or I do, and we offer watch parts and watch straps, and we're a really small business. It's really a family business operated, and I refer to it often as a micro business. Oh yes, please like and subscribe. That helps our micro business a lot, and often I forget to say that, but please like and subscribe, of course. That helps us, and again, thank you for your trust business, and I hope to see you in the future. Oh yes, our website is müllerandson.com, and on eBay we are also Müller & Son. If you want to read, there's thousands of, I think it's over 5,000 reviews now, and most of all these customers are satisfied, believe it or not. Sometimes we ship a watch strap out and it don't get delivered on time, or very seldom somebody doesn't like it, and maybe one customer even didn't believe that we use Horben leather, and he said it does not smell like Horben leather. Well, I don't know if I could smell that good, but anyway, but most of all 5,000 find us acceptable. So again, thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye bye.